Hello everybody, welcome to Adventures of Beekeeping. My name is Dale, and today I'm in my father-in-law's workshop, and he has this really nice radial arm saw. And I just want to talk to you today about how I do some of the measuring that needs to be done. Now, there's the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. And so when I was measuring stuff to be cut on this saw, I would measure it and mark it, and then no two pieces of wood would be the same length. I would get messed up. Do I leave the mark? Do I take the mark out? Do I cut on the other side of the mark? It just got crazy, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I've got to come up with a way that I can make the same cut twice, and the same cut twice today, and the same cut twice 2 weeks from now, and the same cut 4 weeks from now. All these cuts have to be exactly the same when you're making beekeeping equipment. A lot of the times it's 19 7/8, or it's 16 1/4, or something like that. So I'm going to show you a couple of my iterations of how I created a way to measure, so that my new rule is measure once, cut many. Measure once, cut many. So one idea I had was just to go ahead and put marks on the back here. And as you can see, I abandoned that pretty quickly because I have the same issue. This is the width of the mark, and is it this side of the mark, that side of the mark, right on the mark? And so I just decided that's not going to work. So my next idea was to make this measuring stick. So what I did was I put this right on the end and lined it up right here with the end of this piece of wood. This is my piece of wood. And then I clamped it in place and I cut it. I went ahead and I cut it with the radial arm saw. So now this piece of wood is exactly the length from here to the blade. It's exactly to the blade, okay? Because I cut it by putting it right here. Now, the next rule of thumb for me is always use the same tape measure. Always use the same tape measure, because sometimes the tape measure will have these little slips on here, and some of them will slip more than others. So if you always use the same tape measure, then you're always going to get the exact same thing. So now what I do, and let's see if I can show you this, is if I need, and I'll just do something real easy. Let's say I need a 2-inch piece of wood. So I take my measuring stick, my ruler, and I put it 2 inches. I move that right up next to it, and I put that right at 2 inches. Right here, right at 2 inches. See if I can show you better. Okay. And I do it right on the line, the edge and the line. I do it the same way every time. It's not exactly the perfect. I do it right on the line, like that, kind of like that. And then I clamp this in place. So now that this board is proud 2 inches, the cut under here is going to be exactly 2 inches. And I don't have to stick my ruler up under here and pull out the saw or anything. I know that if I put a piece of wood in there, cut it, it's going to be exactly 2 inches. And so I do that. Most of my cuts are shorter than this piece of wood. So I do that that's what I do all the time. I just measure from the end here to right there, and I know that since it's proud by that much, since it's proud that way by that much, what's going to be left under here is going to be the exact amount. Now, then I got a little tired of using this method because I cut a lot of things the same. So now I'm in the process of making some measure stops that are exactly what I want them to be. So this one is 19 7/8. So I measured, did the same thing with this piece of wood, and I figured out the amount of space that I needed for this to be 19 7/8. And then I just clamped this on. And now, forever and ever and ever, if I take a piece of wood and put it right here and say I'm going to cut piece 19 7/8, and this piece has already been cut, I can just verify it here. See, it's always hard to see. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, see, it's perfect. Let me do it this way. See, it's perfect, 19 7/8. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a 16 1/4 and some of the other ones. Now, sometimes I just need it 19 7/8 minus a half. So what if I need something 19 7/8 minus a half? To get my 19 7/8, stick a piece of half-inch piece of plywood in there. So now it's 19 7/8 minus a half. I don't even have to figure out what that is. Or what if I need 19 7/8 minus 3/4? I just stick a piece of 3/4 in there. Or maybe I need it minus 1.5 inches. So as long as I know for this, for sure this is 1.5 inches, I just put that in there. And now it's 19 7/8 minus 1.5 inches. So this method is probably not new. I'm sure other people are doing this same thing. But this is what I wanted to tell you about today. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. God bless and have a great day. If you're still with me, I'm going to show you how to make the 16 3/4 or 16 1/4 stop. So, and we don't even have to do much measuring to do it. So first, you start out with a piece of wood that you know is 16 1/4. And so this piece of wood, which is the end of a hive body, is 16 1/4 inches. Okay, so that's our first piece of wood. Second piece of wood is any piece of wood, doesn't matter. Just get you any piece of wood, and this one happens to be 3.5 inches, but it's going to be this piece of the stop, right? It's going to be this bottom piece of the stop. And what you do is you hold it out here on the end like this, and you line up the end and get it super flat on the end with that piece of wood. Okay, so now we clamp that 16 1/4 inch piece of wood in place. And we don't even know what the length of this needs to be. We don't even know. We don't even care. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and take this piece of wood, not that one, this piece of wood, and stick it in here like this, and get it ready to cut. So what we have here is our stop piece, measured on the bottom here to be perfect, and then we clamp that in place. So essentially what we're doing is we're saying this is the 16 inch piece of wood, 16 1/4 inch piece of wood, this right here, can't see it. Now tell me, what is the length of the stop that I need to have, plus this little block, so that I have the block to stick on the end. So we're going to go ahead and cut that. Everything's in place. Now I know this is long by 3.5 inches, so I have to put this on here. You couldn't see that. I know that this piece that I just cut is long by this 3.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. Screw it in really good. Line it up here on the end. Sorry, I had to make some adjustments so that you could see what I'm doing. So again, we're going to line this end up perfectly, and then we're going to clamp it in place. Verify that it's still lined up good. And then I'm going to take our screwdriver and screw it in place. Okay, all done with that. We could have glued it, I suppose. Now, this should be 16¼ inches when we do that. So let's verify. So what we're going to do is get rid of some of this extra wood, get rid of some of these pieces, and we're going to take this. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my 16¼ inch piece of wood, take it out of there, put my 16¼ inch stop in here, clamp it, take my 16¼ inch piece of wood, put it here, sticks. Put it here and then pull this off. Perfect. Right on the knee. And let's see if I can show that better. Yeah. It's proud just a little bit. It's not perfect. I'll have to make a few adjustments, but that's how you do it. Thanks for watching. God bless and have a great day.